And they got a kid. Everybody knows of Ellison, but they got a kid, Bradford Smith, that can do it all. Especially now that he'll be playing the number 2 position rather than the number 1 point guard.
All right, so it's DePaul and Louisville here at Freedom Hall. We'll be back with the lineups right after we pause for these messages. Well, a look at the starting lineup for the Blue Demons of DePaul. Joey Meyer shaking things up. First career start for 6'6" freshman Curtis Price, and the first career start for the 7'1" center, a junior from Elgin, Illinois, James Hamby. But we'll see quite a bit of shuffling as this game progresses. While the Cardinals of Louisville, with their usual starting 5, Keith Williams is back as a starter. He missed the first semester because of academic problems, so he is at the point guard with Bradford Smith now, not having to concern himself with those duties. And Louisville, as you see, record of 8 up and 2 down. They have been going so well. They come off a victory over Virginia Wednesday night, although they blew a 14-point lead. They beat the Cavaliers 74-71, and last Saturday they walloped Kentucky by 22. There's Joey Meyer, who Al earlier said that his main concern is that the players appear to be scared going into today. Not a good sign.
No, not a good sign at all. Joey Meyer has won 22 games last year. If he wins 20 games this year, he'll be canonized. That means he'll get the sainthood.
Oh, thank you. And Denny Crum, in his 18th year at Louisville, one of the nation's great coaches. No college basketball coach has accomplished as much as Denny Crum during the decades of the 80s. Opened with a national championship, 1980, returned to the Final Four, 82, 83, and then brought home another title in 1986. A remarkable record.
Marv, he will be, I believe, in the Final Four dance at the end of March out in Seattle. I think the 80s is his decade, and he's going to go out the way he come in, maybe with a championship ring.
And in previous years, Louisville Cardinal teams have had difficulties at the start of the season. That's not the case thus far this year.
This is only his second December that he's gone undefeated, but to go undefeated this time last year at the end of 11 games, they were 6 wins, 5 losses. If they happen to win today, there'll be 9 wins, 2 losses.
The officials, 2 from the Metro Conference, Bobby Ola and Ken Faulkner, and from Missouri Valley Conference, Rich Eichhorn. So DePaul able to take over on a rare turnover by the Cardinals of Louisville. And this is Terrence Green handling it. Green working against Bradford Smith. Nice move by Green. And DePaul with a 2-0 lead.
They needed that to get off the snide. Needed a confidence builder. There's no doubt that Green is a great athlete. He could have went football or basketball. DePaul sitting back in the 3-2 zone, going to test the outside shooting. And this is the guy that can bottom it out.
Kenny Payne not able to hit, but hit home by Tony Kimbrough.
This is what they got to handle, the pressure up court. 2007, 2008, they're over.
Green met by Payne. Fans wanted to travel. And that turnover number 1 committed by DePaul.
Committed by the freshman, his first start. He's an outstanding ball player, but only a freshman. Curtis Price out of Chicago.
Keith Williams and Bradford Smith in the backcourt. Purvis Ellison at center, and Kenny Payne and Tony Kimbrough up front. This is Payne with it.
They'll shoot from the outside and just dominate the inside boards.
And they're shooting 53% for the season. Ellison not able to hit, but rebounded by Kimbrough. Here is Williams. Tony Kimbrough. And DePaul able to come away with it. Stanley Brundy, the 6'7" co-captain, who had a strong game against Louisville last year. 26 points, 9 rebounds.
Louisville's in a man-to-man, trying to kick the ball inside to Brundy. He won't shoot many more than 5-6 feet out.
Price, Booth, and back to Green.
He can hit this shot.
Hamby Hamby could not get to it, but Payne was out of bounds, and DePaul maintains possession. DePaul's last win, December 28th, they defeated Mississippi State by 2 points. They were walloped by Seton Hall 83-60. Thursday night, lost to North Carolina 87-67. There's Booth.
The thing about North Carolina lost, it was at the Horizon. And they usually win about 85% of the games at the Horizon.
Ken Payne called on the foul. And Louisville is the 6th top 20 opponent for DePaul this season. And the 3rd in 10 days. In fact, DePaul Sports Information Director Tim Stevens said that's like making 3 straight trips to the dentist without Novocaine.
With a root canal job coming up.
The game tied at 2. 2.5 gone by. Nice pass. Grundy not able to hit. Here's Hamby. They have taken a step. Hamby again. And the foul on Ellison.
Grundy missed that shot earlier there because Ellison makes you think, makes you readjust the ball in the air. Watch. Anytime Ellison's around, there's the foul on Hamby.
James Hamby in the starting lineup. His first career start. And he's only 5 for 10 from the free throw line.
He got all net on that one. Remarkable thing about the 7'1" junior, he averages 1 rebound a game.
Has not been getting the playing time. Actually, has not played well recently when he has been in there, but he hits the 2 foul shots. And the sound of impatience from this capacity crowd with Louisville down 4-2 here in the early moments. Smith had a notion.
Let it fly.
Kimbrough. Ellison controlling the ball. And he's fouled.
Hamby put too many hands on him that time.
Foul called on Hamby.
Watch the hands now. They're pushing him once. Now he'll push him again. Here it comes again. Push him again then. And now he turns around to the ref and says, I didn't touch him.
Foul to the act, so Purvis Ellison, 68% free throw shooter. And the Louisville shooting way off here at the start. I mentioned 53% from the field for the season. And their all-time team record is 53, set by the 1986 National Championship squad.
They're looking to turn over and make a run. Ball's trying to milk the clock down. Don't lose their patience.
Play called out by Joey Meyer. Twice had it stolen, but a foul
on L.A. Bradford Smith. That's what Coach Crum calls him, L.A.
He is a spectacular all-around athlete. In baseball, his fastball was clocked at 92 miles per hour. As a high school freshman, after only 2 days of practice, he high jumped 6'10", and comes from a very talented sports family. Grundy getting in, and DePaul with a 6-3 lead.
His 2 sisters were outstanding basketball players.
In fact, they played on a national championship Texas women's team. Louisville has hit only 1 of 7 from the field.
They want to go. They're like quarter horses, Louisville. They want to get out of the gate and sprint. This 3-2 zone has slowed down their rhythm.
Nice touch by Tony Kimbrough. A 3-pointer for Kimbrough. He has now hit 6 of his last 8 from 3-point range.
Tony's offensive-minded. Put some weight on. Come the second half, he tires. Look, they're kicking into Grundy. They're fronting Grundy underneath.
Here's Hamby. And Ellison for Smith with Price back.
Oh, he climbed Mount Everest. I say he charged. I believe that Price had position, but you can't call that play back. Inch for inch, pound for pound, potentially, Bob. This is one of the best ball players in basketball. I don't compare him to Michael Jordan. I compare this guy to who? Oscar Robertson. Look at this angle. Who does he go upstairs?
Very high praise to the big O.
Yes, yes. And this kid's only a sophomore. What happens to him a lot? He plays out of control. He's been playing the point guard, which isn't his position. Now, once Williams became eligible, now he goes to number 2 position.
The crowd responding to LaBradford Smith. Timeout taken.
My son Icky got the Cutlass Supreme SL because it has front-wheel drive, FE3 suspension, and because tests prove that the new T-Bird LX and Cougar LS just couldn't run the slalom as fast. That kid, he's got all the moves.
I learned it from you, Mom.
One more time for the sophomore from Bay City, Texas, LaBradford Smith.
Climbing Mount Everest. Price was in position that time. That should have been a charge, but not at home with that type of excitement.
And then LaBradford hitting the foul shot for a 3-point play. Louisville 9, DePaul 6. Substitution, Stephen Howard, the 6'9 freshman out of Dallas, has come on for the first time. So Hamby sitting down. Grundy rejected a bad shot. Ellison got a piece of it. And here comes Keith Williams.
And that is the 51st straight game that Ellison has blocked the shot.
Ellison with position. Rebound tip home. Kenny Payne with his first field goal. Louisville 11, DePaul 6.
Ellison is psyching out Grundy underneath.
And again, the pressure by the Cardinals. Green gets it across and fouled by LaBradford Smith.
That should take LaBradford out of the game. He's picked up 2 quick fouls. The game's only 5 minutes old. Look for one of the super freshmen to move in.
DePaul, a very young team. Among their top 8 players, 4 are freshmen. Last season, they averaged only 14 turnovers a game. This season, 20 a game. And the pressure they're facing here from Louisville will not help that statistic. The Cardinals on a run with 8 unanswered points after the 1-for-7 start. And they lead it 11-6.
Yeah, I figured he'd move him in. He's moving in Sullivan. Crump calls him E because of his first name. Everett.
Outstanding freshman Everett Sullivan getting set to check in.
Louisville playing man-to-man. They don't have to worry about fouls because they have a 10-man rotation. All the way back to their 10th man, which is Hawley.
Here's Booth.
Yep.
Nice move. David Booth goes 6'7", maybe 170 pounds. Freshman from Peoria.
Yeah, he needs to drink malted milk, eat a lot of bananas, and it's there. It's just going to take time. He's a player.
11-8. DePaul down by 3. 6 minutes gone by. Long range attack. That's another 3-pointer for Kimbrough. He has now hit 7 of his last 9 from 3-point range, and Louisville leads 14-8.
I said 2 years ago, the coaches starting to realize that if your team doesn't take between 300 and 400 3-point shots a season, you don't understand mathematics.
And obviously, Denny Crum's philosophy changed in that department.
And if the coach isn't confident, the players aren't confident. Now, all of a sudden, the Cardinals want to bomb away from 3-point land.
Everett Sullivan, 6'5" freshman. And what an outstanding crop of freshmen on this Cardinal squad. He replaces LaBradford Smith. And here comes Cornelius Holden for Tony Kimbrough. Kimbrough with 8 points, the high man. And a substitution for DePaul. Brad Neiman, who is a good 3-point shooter, has come on to replace Curtis Price. Neiman's problem, he's been able to get that shot off against the lesser competition, but against some of the better athletic teams, such as Louisville, he has had difficulties getting the shot off.
Well, they're in the zone because the ball was taken out of bounds underneath. Now they shift to man-to-man. To play Neiman without the ball. That's a forced shot. Another good one.
Rebound Howard.
Howard kept alive.
Traveling violation. So it comes back to Louisville.
Again, 2 DePaul freshmen underneath that time, Booth and Howard.
And now Williams and Sullivan in the backcourt. Holden is up front. along with Ellison and Payne. Payne getting it down.
Can't stop Ellis. Excuse me, Mog. Howard, you can't stop Ellis from in back. Man to man, no one-on-one to stop Ellison. Nobody. He's that good. You might be looking at the #1 draft choice in the country. It's obvious foul. He's caught in his rear end there. That's all she wrote. Just hug him and give the foul.
Green to the boards. Terrence Green being followed by Everett Sullivan. Neiman getting it down low. Nice pass for Brundy.
Give Neiman credit on that. Excellent little alley-oop, a baby alley-oop.
Sullivan putting a move on and stripped by Green. Sullivan will throw in. Everett Sullivan, Louisville's top recruit. He can play up front and the backcourt. Good outside touch. Ellison. So Purvis with 3 points, 16-10. Louisville with the lead, 12.5 remaining. First half. Marv Albert with Al McGuire from a sold-out Freedom Hall in Louisville. Nice touch by Stephen Howard.
Showed a lot of pressure. When no one's guard you, to make that 17-foot shot is difficult, and he just drilled it.
Howard had not been shooting well as of late. Also bothered by a touch of the flu. One of the reasons he did not start. Ellison getting in, drew the foul.
Well, if he keeps playing Ellison man-to-man, that flu will turn into pneumonia. DePaul has to go to his zone. They just can't match up against the athletic ability of the Cardinals.
Howard caught on the foul. His second, fourth team foul on DePaul. Now Hamby has come on for Howard.
Coach Joey Myers trying to keep his team fresh for the second half, so he's making as many rotations as the Cardinals are. We're going to see a heavy pressure now if this foul shot's made. Look for them to turn this ball over if they make the foul shot.
5-point lead. Make it 6 for Louisville. 8 minutes gone by in this first half. We'll be back here at Freedom Hall in a moment.
FE3 suspension, and because tests prove the new T-Berg LX and Kruger LS just don't stop as fast. And James just loves a nice fast break.
Go for it, Mom.
Check of the scoreboard. Oklahoma leading North Carolina, rather tied at the in the first half at 20 apiece. South Carolina in front of Davidson, 36-16 at the half. Here in Louisville, the Cardinals with an 18-12 lead on DePaul with 11:50 remaining first half. And North Carolina State in front of Temple by 2 in the first half. Terrence Green, senior out of Flint, Michigan, starting at point guard this afternoon. In the backcourt was Neiman. Hamby is back in the lineup. Paul shooting way off. And Louisville will take over. Louisville ranked 13th by the Associated Press, number 11 in United Press International.
This is the right defense, I believe, this 2-3. I make it a man-to-man matchup, play the guy from three-point area.
And Sullivan hacked on the play by Booth. David Booth called on the foul. His first.
Number 30 is first, team fifth.
So here is Everett Sullivan. Grundy is back. Booth sitting down. Louisville people knew that Everett Sullivan would be a good ball player, but he has exceeded expectations.
I like a player that shows no effort. How you can tell a great athlete, I always say, is the second time they go up for a rebound without recoiling. You notice him later in the game, when he's up for a rebound the second time, he doesn't recoil. He just goes, taps right back up. He just committed the foul. A little bit too aggressive.
Paul did have difficulty throwing the ball in, but the foul on Sullivan, his first. And again, Green looks to inbound. Grundy back to help and trap. Neiman getting it back to Green. So Neiman and Green, the guard combination, getting it across. There's Price.
Neiman has to look for a shot, Marv, and he has to move more without the ball to get the shot. Here he is.
Green from way out. Hamby. So Hamby paying 5-6.
Plus he's playing down in the paint on defense, and 7'1" with the wing spread creates some problems. What Louisville has to do is look for the simple shot. Don't force it. That was not it.
Traveling violation. And here comes Felton Spencer, the 7-foot junior from Louisville, to provide a rest for Purvis Ellison.
He's very physical. Doesn't have all the tools, but he can score down low.
That's a three-point bomb for Sullivan.
Well, Louisville, all they have to do is shoot from the outside against that zone and fight for the rebound underneath offensively. But it takes a little patience.
23-14, Louisville by 9. It's their biggest lead. Grundy getting in. He's been way off. Rebound, Kimbrough. Grundy usually very effective around the basket.
Won't shoot from more than 5 or 6 feet out. There's another three-pointer.
Well, Kimbrough hit his first two. DePaul on the run. Look at that delivery to Price, but Kimbrough had gotten back. And as you see, Neiman cannot get the three-point shot off.
Neiman has to set himself up before he gets the ball. That should do it. Nope. Good defense by Williams. Price, a good athlete, but doesn't have all the offensive tools. Here's the senior setting it up again.
Fans wanted to travel. Grundy not able to hit, but tipped home.
Grundy stayed with it that time, and Green got away with a walk.
Stanley Grundy with terrific ability on the second leap. Guys usually are good for one and then stop, but he is good on the second time.
He'll be better now with Felton Spencer in there rather than Ellison. Here's Ellison back in now.
Purvis Ellison back along with Bradford Smith. And Terrence Green will get a rest. Melvin Foster, who has been playing with a broken nose, sophomore from Chicago, has come on. So now Neiman will handle the ball.
Foster's more of a blacktop player. He gets the ball, can go around like a water bug. Offensively has some problems putting the ball in the hole.
Kimbrough getting a hand on it to break it up.
U of L now has their tall team in there. 7'1" Spencer and 6'10" Ellison. Look for the guards to gamble more. These guards are both 6'4", 6'5". So if they trap you, you're in trouble. You can't see over them.
Hamby trying to get it down low to Grundy. Ellison with a gorgeous move.
Never nervous, Purvis. That was a silky smooth move there.
7 points for Ellison as a freshman MVP of the 1986 Final Four. And off the steal, Kimbrough tried to return it and kicked out last touch by Foster.
I'd be careful right here, Joey. I call a timeout. Here he goes like a condor floating in the air. No effort. Keeps his eye on the rim. Nice call timeout by Joey. Congratulations. And here's another angle.
8:03 to go. First half as DePaul does take timeout. 20 a game. 8:03 to go. First half. Louisville in possession, and they lead by 9. LeBradford Smith back on the floor with the ball, being watched by Melvin Foster. Spencer with the step. And the foul called on Terrence Green.
Get the ball down low to Spencer. You look at a guy like Felton Spencer, Marv, and you say, well, he's a good ball player, but he's not a great one. Felton Spencer will be 9 to 10 years in the NBA.
I agree with you.
He'll be a second-string center, you know, one of those guys that come in and bump and grind, the sumo wrestler type, and he's improving every year.
Particularly at the foul line. 49% as a freshman. Last year, 64. He's up to 72. One of the most improved players on the squad last season. Figures to be a starter next year with the departure of Purvis Ellison. Felton Spencer, a 7-foot junior. Biggest lead of the game. See Oklahoma by 7. Still in the first half.
Cardinals got away with a kick that time.
Kimbrough.
Yes. Kimbrough can fill it up. Now DePaul must get a basket here. Psychologically, they're going to start getting down on themselves.
Kimbrough with 10 points. That is his season average. 12-4 run by the Cardinals of Louisville. Howard given the room. He hit from there just moments ago. Grundy. Grundy now with 8 points. He's a 6'7" senior from Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles.
A lot of great players out of there. You know, on his team last year, he told me that 8 of the guys went Division I this year. Imagine 8 ball players from the same high school going Division I.
In fact, teammate Cornelius Holden, Crenshaw teammate Cornelius Holden, is a member of the Cardinals of Louisville. That is David Booth returning. Foster departs. And here's Payne replacing Kimbrough. We talk about Crenshaw High School in L.A. They produced Marcus Johnson, one-time LSU star John Williams, now with the Washington Bullets. Stephen Thompson.
He walked. Good call. Zebra was right on top of it.
Well, there's a look at some of those who have come from Crenshaw. Chris Brown, baseball player, along with a fellow by the name of Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah, that booing, that is not booing. That's for Brewer, the freshman on Louisville. He just came into the game. The crowd goes boo, boo.
6.5 remaining in the first half. 29-18. Louisville leads DePaul.
Joey's doing a very intelligent thing. He's first working to get the ball over the 10-second line, then setting up the score. He's not going for fool's goal. See, against Louisville, he got such great athletes and such great rejected shot blockers that one guy can play his own underneath.
Felton Spencer called for the foul. 16 foul. And Green to the foul line. He is only a 60% free throw shooter.
Don't be pointing around, Terrence. You want to concentrate on making the shot. You should be just pay attention to getting that ball off the ref. Keep your eye on that front rim and shoot over it. Didn't I tell you to do that? Well, let's try it once again with our mystery camera.
Oh, Terrence Green hitting on both foul shots. 9-point lead now for Louisville. Some pressure here by the Blue Demons.
Normally teams that press have trouble when press is put against them. They handle it fine that time.
This is James Brewer, who just checked in, another Louisville freshman. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Brewer looking for Ellison.
Oh, beautiful pass.
Well, he tried to hit Spencer, who did not expect it, did not handle it.
Well, Spencer was going for position for the rebound. I personally thought that Ellison should have put that up. He had all the inside position. Oh, that's number 3 on L.A.
Bradford Smith.
His nickname is Moose. And out he comes.
Very creative, acrobatic player called L.A. and Moose. He says L.A. because he's got a lot of Hollywood in him, but
I thought it was because of Bradford. L.A.
No, he says that's not the reason.
Oh, it's Tinsel
This
City,
is good inside stuff, huh?
Oh, boy. So I was wrong again.
The Bradford greatly influenced by Julius Erving and Michael Jordan.
teams that press don't like being pressed. Well, if that shot was made, the Green would have put pressure on. That's at 2 points. It was touched.
So it is Grundy on the deflection. He has 10. It's down to a 6-point lead. Spencer lost it. And the foul called on Payne.
Payne reached in, but it was a good foul. You're going to have Grundy go up and take a one-on-one in this situation. Otherwise, it would have been a 3-on-1 break and most likely a chippy layup.
7 unanswered points by DePaul. Now Grundy, a horrendous free throw shooter at 43%, 29 for 68.
And surprisingly, he shoots 60% from the field with field goals. Over 60%, doesn't he, Mark?
Yeah, in close though, mostly layups. Grundy on the steal.
You better realize that Cardinals, if they're putting pressure on you, they've turned it over twice now.
And it will be Louisville ball.
Here's the pressure up court again. Now it's 1-2-1-1. It's 1-2-1-1. There's the trap. There comes a crossover. What I mean by the crossover, Booth that time goes in front of Payne, the man that threw the ball in. 80% of the time, the ball comes back to where it's thrown to. Now watch it come back to Payne. Should see it should have been cut across there. In my coaching days, I would have had someone cut across there.
And here's Brewer, rebounded by DePaul. So the Blue Demons taking advantage of this cold spell by Louisville. Nice pass, Howard can't hit. Louisville is led by as many as 13. It is now a 6-point lead with 4.5 remaining first half.
All year long, Louisville's going to be a team up and down like a roller coaster. They'll move out 15, 17 points, go back to 6, then move back up again. I think that's because of their 9-10 rotation and because all their ball players are just excellent athletes.
Here's Brewer. James Brewer going glass. He is an excellent all-around athlete, great quickness. He can leap. 6'3" freshman from Bardstown, Kentucky.
See what happens when their ball players come in, they don't come in and play off the score. They come in and play their normal game. Where North Carolina ball players, if you got a 13-point lead and Dean Smith makes a substitution, they play off the score. They're more like bridle horses on a bridle path. Where Louisville are more a running game or giddy-up type game.
Ellison coming up with that reject, but the foul called on Brewer. That's his first. Connecticut leading Providence by 5 in the second half. North Carolina State now by 11 over the Owls of Temple.
Just too many holes in the Temple material. That Proposition 48 knocked them for a loop. They got 3 guys sitting out. Next year they'll be back. I think they'll make a run for it in the Atlantic 10 and an outside chance of making the NCAA tournament.
Curtis Price, who made his first career start today, and shooting well as of late. A guy that coaches say plays with linebacker-type intensity. He was part of the Joey Meyer lineup shakeup. 7-point lead for Louisville.
Now remember, DePaul got back in the game with up-court pressure. Oh, great steal that time.
Ellison.
Oh, that was charging. Tony Kimbrough came from outside. Just flew in there.
So again, DePaul to the line. Well, they call it on Brewer, his second.
Must have caught him down low. All the ones that I noticed going at the time was Tony Kimbrough.
And David Booth will go to the foul line. He's one of the better free throw shooters for DePaul at 78%. DePaul shooting 59% from the free throw line. Substitution, Everett Sullivan replacing Keith Williams, who did not score.
Marv, in the collegiate game, what happens if DePaul stays in this game into the second half? They get stronger, And the better club, which is obviously Louisville, they get weak. It's a psychological thing.
Now, time is...
And DePaul is hanging in, down by only 5 with 3:28 left. First half. Out of every NBC college basketball game this season, State Farm's the rules of the game, making its debut at halftime. And we will also take a close-up look at the freshman phenom out of LSU, Chris Jackson, who is averaging 28 points per game. 5-point lead for Louisville. 3:15 left, first half. Friendly rim for Tony Kimbrough. He has 12. He is the high man. Brundy leading DePaul with 10.
2-2-1 pressure up. There's a hole in the middle to Hamby. We're stuck.
So the 7'1" Hamby is back in. Neiman and Booth now in the backcourt. This is Neiman met by Kimbrough. Here's Booth.
Nice shot, leaning towards the backboard. Normally he's supposed to play a thing off the glass, but he played all rim.
6 points for the freshman, David Booth, 33-28. Louisville by 5, so DePaul is hanging around. They've been down by as many as 13.
Go for a three-point shot here. Nope. Kimbrough's going to put it up. He's hot hand.
Forced it. And rebounded by Brundy.
It's a big time down. Joey's up, calling an offensive set. Nice saves to drop the ball down low to Brundy. Got to swing it over to Price first, Booth.
Neiman fires. Yes, three-pointer. That time, no hesitation. Quick release, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Yep. You give that Neiman a hot hand, he can burn you. How many foul shots in a row did he hit in high school?
76 in Illinois prep record. Here's a three-point attempt. Payne off the mark, rebounded by Booth. A minute 40 to go, first half. So the Blue Demons, who were said to be scared, very nervous about going up against nationally ranked Louisville, fell back by 13, but able to get right back into it. And here's Price.
The numbers are right.
3 on 2. Payne gives it up. And the foul.
Picture-book pass by Payne. Finalized by the All-American. Here we go, our first look at it. He breaks over the charity line, then wrap-around pass to the right, and there's the All-American curtains.
So
Here's
Purvis
a full look at it.
with 9 points, and he will go to the foul line.
If I was Joey, I'd milk this down to 40 seconds right now and try to go in over 4 or 5 down. Yeah, it looks like he might have gone to a delay. That was some delay with that shot.
That is not
Football players, Bob, don't go to delays.
not what Joey Meyer had in mind. Here's Felton Spencer for Purvis Ellison. Terrence Green is now 1 for 7 from the field.
Well, it's a 4-point spread, and there's a 9-second spread on the clock. I'd take it down, but let's see what Joey calls. High-low post position.
Booth. And Brundy at its strip. And the foul. Called on Neiman for the reach-in.
They reached in that time, but Sullivan was off to the races. In the 1-on-1 situation.
Everett Sullivan is 2 for 2 from the foul line. Louisville people say he could be a Milt Wagner type player over Sullivan.
He can swing well. Milt was always a backcourt ball player and just an unbelievable shooter. I think Sullivan has more equipment than Wagner. I think he can play forward, number 2 position, and can board. Has more size than Milt. I feel 1 or 2 more inches. He's only a kid now. Here's the 4 corners playing for last shot. Good call by Denny.
Louisville with a 4-point lead. They work it down to 15 seconds left, first half.
They should go with about 7 seconds, 6. They're going too soon.
Spencer off the nice feed.
I told you too soon. Oh, they got a break.
Three-pointer.
Oh. No, that shouldn't be 3 points. Even though the ball went in, that only should be 2. Because he left from 2-point land. How many did they call, Marv? Should be 2.
They did call it 2.
That's right, not 3. Okay. I'm not going to ref anymore.
So Everett Sullivan with the buzzer basket, and halftime here at Freedom Hall in Louisville with the Cardinals up 37-31.
Thank God for replays.
And we'll be back right after these messages. 37-31, Louisville leading DePaul. Louisville shooting 45% from the field, yet DePaul hanging in despite the 11-31.
Well, the key thing, I think, is the last thing there. Only 6 turnovers. I thought Louisville would turn them over at least 12 times in the first half. Surprisingly, on the rebounding, Mob, is DePaul has 13 offensive rebounds to Louisville's 9. Now, that's a major accomplishment for the Blue Demons.
And checking out the individual scoring totals, the High Point men, Stanley Brundy, who came on late in the first half, he has 10 points. Tony Kimbrough with a couple of 3-point bombs, leading Louisville with 12, and Purvis Ellison with 9. The freshman Everett Sullivan hit that 2-pointer at the buzzer, and he has 7. A look at the foul situation. 3 on LeBradford Smith, so his playing time was held back in that first half.
Look for him to be pressing a little bit the second half. He's only a southpaw, and their tendency is to think if they don't get 15 to 20 points, they didn't have a good ball game. So watch L.A. here, I believe, start driving towards the hoop. Let's see if the next time he touches the ball, he doesn't drive to the basket.
A quiet first half for the Louisville starting backcourt. 3 points for LeBradford Smith and nothing for Keith Williams. DePaul in the blue, the dark uniform, Louisville in the white, and it is DePaul ball as we get underway. Second half. Marv Albert with Al McGuire from Freedom Hall, and that is a 3-point field goal for David Booth, who has shot very well. He has 9, and it's a 3-point game. Louisville by 3. Here is Williams. His first bucket, 39-34. Louisville on top.
There's the 2-2-1 zone press up court. Flash into the middle. Price. Release it to Hamby.
Ellison trying to save it off the steal, but he stepped out. So Hamby starting at center with Price and Brundy. Joey Meyer staying with that revamped starting lineup. Terrence Green in the backcourt along with David Booth, and Green did not have a single turnover in that first half. There's Green firing. Green has not shot well. He is now 1 for 8 from the field. Kimbrough on the fade.
Oh, there's an offensive NBA ball player. Someone has to flash in the middle. Price, you got to move out of there. Hamby has to flash in now. Nice defense.
Booth from deep. Keith Williams rejected and a foul. Booth got the ball and the hand.
Might have called him on the hip that time, Miles.
Joey Meyer did not like the call.
It's a tough call for ref because it's way out in the open. Here comes Booth out. He gets a piece of leather right there. But I thought he caught him with his hip down low.
And a technical foul was called on Meyer.
That's a 2-shot technical foul and possession of the ball. Now, normally, when you hit the technical that fast, that normally means you're right. But it's a tough time to get one. I thought it was time for a warning, but not for a tee. The game is too tight. This would possibly be a this would be a 6-point play. 6 points coming down. There's 2 of them. Now, I wouldn't change foul shooters there, no matter how good. I know this fella's outstanding. Last year, he shot 90%. But when the first guy stands up there and hits both of them, I would stay with him. And here comes the second technical foul on the coach.
Well, Bradford Smith is an 84% free throw shooter. Williams has not seen much time on the foul line. He's only 9 for 13, including those 2. But yes, the potential 6 or 7 point play here.
When I said 90% foul shooter, that's what Bradford Smith shot last year.
One of the better foul shooters in the nation last year. 11-point Louisville lead. Minute and a half gone by in the second half. Kimbrough. So a 6-point swing by the Cardinals of Louisville off the foul call and the technical. And Louisville has matched its biggest lead off a 10-0 run. Nice play.
Well positioned. They get the ball off that break into Grundy down low. One man can't cover him, especially if he's within 5 feet of the basket.
12 points for Stanley Grundy, 47-36. Louisville leads by 11. Williams had the room.
3-second call on Ellison.
So
in the
ball,
paint.
Back to DePaul. They come in at 8-6. 5 of the losses at the hands of top 20 teams. They've lost 2 straight in wipeouts. The hands of Seton Hall and North Carolina. And that's a reacher.
Yep. Green reverted back to his football career there. Put his head down. Williams reached in. First foul, personal foul on Louisville, U of L.
That's the first on Keith Williams. Last season, DePaul went 22-8, made it to the NCAA for the 5th straight time, getting to the second round. This time it's called on DePaul. But last year, a DePaul team that had a backcourt of Rod Strickland, now with the New York Knicks in the focus of much controversy, and Kevin Edwards, who is a starter with the Miami Heat. Here's Neiman back. That turnover by Green, his first.
And not a bad turnover, Marv. He took the 5 count rather than gamble and throw it out. It ends up in the basket down the other end.
Off the follow, Payne able to convert, and Louisville leads by 13, 49-36.
Nice spacing by the Blue Devils against Blue Demons against the pressure.
Mention the Rod Strickland controversy. Rick Pitino, the New York Knicks coach, upset with Strickland not going for a loose ball the other night. Also, Strickland late to practice a couple of times, and Joey Meyer went through that at the ball.
Yeah, well, I know there's a little problem there. Al Bianchi's made a statement, and the coaches made statements. They got to remember that they're not the enemies of each other. The enemies are the Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons, and get together, because New York has finally come out of the doldrums after about a 10-year downtime, a 9-year downtime.
Kenny Payne was called on that last foul. Here's Smith.
He's going to go.
Booth. Oh, very friendly rim. And Booth has 11, 49-38.
That ball did a victory lap before it went in.
Grundy on the rebound. Green eluding the steal attempt. Finding Grundy. Nice tip home on the follow by Grundy. He has 14.
Stays with it. If he misses the shot, he stays with the ball. That 6-point trip down court hurt the guys from the Windy City. Up. That was a foul. Good call.
And that is 4 on Bradford Smith. who has not been able to get himself. No, check that. Ellison on the foul.
Yeah. Ellison reached around and grabbed him.
Well, Bradford arguing that he was pushed.
He still thinks it's on him.
Yeah. So it's a 9-point Louisville lead. 5 minutes gone by. Second half.
With long arms, and he's getting help from the weak side. But Ellison, they feel if they can stop Grundy, then they can stop DePaul.
A 9-point Louisville lead. They've led by as many as 13 on 3 separate occasions. 5 minutes gone by in the second half. This is Booth looking for the shot. Green and Neiman now, the backcourt. Nice pass for Grundy. Booth from 3. Yes. 49-43. A 6-point Louisville lead, and Booth has 14.
Paul's gone man-to-man. I think they have more success at the zone, like I said earlier. Ellison will slip down a low post. There he is. Should be 2.
Felton Spencer, who just checked in, getting it down low to Purvis Ellison.
When the 2 big guys are in there, Marv, Felton will take the foul line. He'll turn around and hit low. The ball went to Felton Spencer on the foul line, and there's the position. If you get him the ball, it's either 2 foul shots or a basket.
Smith, 3-point attempt. Ellison going high for the rebound. So Purvis Ellison has 11, 8-point Louisville lead. That time Booth committed himself.
Yep, you've got to stay on the ground and keep your dribble alive.
Williams. A 10-point lead for the Cardinals of Louisville.
Neiman said, slow down. You don't want to turn over here because that will create the blowout. He's going all the way. Nice dish off. Beautiful dish off.
The Green setting up Grundy. 16 for Stanley Grundy. Comes off a good ball game against North Carolina, although the ball was walloped. 23 points, 14 rebounds for Grundy Thursday night.
This is their best defense, 2-3. Just got to make sure they don't give too many 3-point shots on the wings.
Purvis Ellison with 13. And again, Louisville by 10 with 6.5 gone by. Second half. Ellison going for the steal. Green with the feed. Ampey got it back out.
Too much hands on Spencer that time. Spencer's a very physical ball player.
Substitutions for DePaul as we check the score, but Oklahoma by 17 over North Carolina Charlotte. Curtis Price checking back in. Stephen Howard is back. Georgetown over Miami of Florida in a romp.
Coming back after their sting by Seton Hall, but they're in comfortable home in the Cap Center today.
Tony Kimbrough is back for the Cardinals of Louisville. This is Price for Neiman. Green and Neiman now in the backcourt. Howard up front with Price and Grundy.
And you've got to get the ball to Neiman when he's free. And give you that 3 points. Give it to him. Nope.
Grundy not able to hit. And Cornelius Holden grabbing that rebound. Holden. Foul called on Howard. Stephen Howard picking up his 3rd. Stephen Howard, a potential academic All-American. Very good student. First freshman at DePaul to start on a regular basis since Terry Cummings. And there's also a physical resemblance to Cummings. At this point, strictly physical. A lot of wipeouts around the nation. North Carolina State winning big over Temple in the second half. There's a close ball game. Missouri by 3 over Colorado in the second half. Marv Albert, Al McGuire back at Freedom Hall. And Cornelius Holden, the 6'7" freshman from Los Angeles, will go to the foul line. We have 12.5 remaining in the second half. And Louisville leads DePaul 55-45. Hamby called on the foul, his second.
Holden did a good job that time down low. He gave 1 or 2 head fakes. I call them mambo fakes. And Hamby reached him.
Mambo fakes.
Yep, mambo. Mambo jumbo.
Last year, Holden, the top player at Crenshaw High School in L.A. As Crenshaw won its first 28 games, ranked first nationally most of the season. 11-point Louisville lead.
UCLA tried to get him, but he told me he came here because he wanted to leave home. Get away a little bit, which is normal. Nice move by Flint Flash. Green.
Terrence Green cuts it down to 9. Kimbrough getting it inside.
Holden wants to post up down low against Price. See if he flashes in. Kimbrough just wants the ball.
Sullivan. And rebounded by Price. Here comes Green with Williams back. Green going right at him. A brick.
A brick, but you're allowed to throw a brick if you have a good play before. That's why he did that.
Keith Williams eluding Terrence Green. Rebounded by Spencer. The steal from Green. Look at Williams getting back. And the rejection by Fulton Spencer. Who hears it from the crowd?
It's truly in-your-face basketball. I thought Green should have kicked it off to Neiman that time.
Hamby putting it up.
Oh, surprise, Hamby. Now, Hamby is a highly intelligent academic kid. He works with computers at DePaul. Here's the rejection. Up goes Spencer. Crowd loves it.
And the reject by Felton Spencer. So Hamby will go to the line seeking the three-point play. Hamby making his first career start today and looking for his 7-point. Keith Williams sitting down. LeBradford Smith is back. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll be pleased to renew an 18-year tradition. The selection of a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. And off the rebound, the foul on Spencer. So again, DePaul making a run. They've cut that lead down to 6. And Spencer picks up his 4th.
Well, it's not a problem because you get Ellison sitting on the bench coming in. That's one of the luxuries about having a 10-man rotation. Even though they only use 9 men, DePaul in the first half used 8. There's the pressure up court, 2-2-1.
Coming up next on NBC Sports World, the Hula Bowl, which will include quarterback sensations Troy Aikman and Rodney Peete. That'll be next following DePaul and Louisville.
Doesn't Louisville have a football player in that game, Marv?
Yes. Running back Deion Booker. Amazing how you know these things out.
Unbelievable. Nice pass by Sullivan.
And an 8-point lead for Louisville. DePaul will put it in play. Neiman could not find anyone, was looking for some help, looking for someone to come back.
Here's over to Sullivan. Now watch Sullivan dig a little bit, then dish it off to the All-American, the future multimillionaire.
In the game for DePaul, Green, number 13, and Grundy, number 23.
So an 8-point Louisville lead. Purvis Ellison with 15 points, 6 for 10 from the field.
And isn't sweating yet. Got to straighten out the net. Attaboy Jackson. Jackson jumped off the bench, ran out there, and straightened the net out.
Last week, Purvis Ellison moved into 4th place on the Cardinals' all-time scoring list of passing. Charlie Tyree. Remember, Charlie Tyree played here in the mid-50s. Number 1 pick of the New York Knicks. Not do it in the pros, but certainly a solid college player at Louisville.
He was adequate. He stayed in the pros a number of years, Marv.
So.
Also ran. Good hands by L.A. Well, they want to go. The Cardinals constantly are looking to turn it over and go. Giddy up.
Green being played by Sullivan. Booth again trying the long-range shot. And the foul called on DePaul. Grundy being pulled away from the official. That is number 2 on Stanley Grundy.
Number 23 is second team fifth.
He didn't have position and tried to create space, which was illegal underneath that time.
5-team fouls now on DePaul. Louisville at 8-2. They've won 8 in a row. The 2 losses took place in the closing seconds on a layup with 2 seconds left against Xavier, and a 40-foot shot at the buzzer by Barry Goheen of Vanderbilt. The only 2 losses. Oh, and in your face, and the foul. Boy, it's been a sensational game for the 6'7" freshman David Booth.
At 170 pounds only. Put another 20 pounds on this kid in the next couple of years, and you got a Sweet 16 team here at least.
And now he's up to 170 by gaining 10 pounds. 16 points for Booth, 10 of the 16 of the second half. The Louisville lead is 6. Ellison on the follow and a foul. Driving foul call.
That was a real touch foul, which we call a feather foul, or a tickle foul. But at home here, you know, everyone's favorite the All-American. Nice pass off by Sullivan. There it is right there. Inside of his arm, went across, I think it was Green's head.
So Purvis picks up his 3rd. Felton Spencer has 4. Purvis's family on hand to check out his performance.
Yeah, there's grandma there and mother.
It is a 5-point lead for Louisville.
And you start tightening up if you're a favorite, and then you has to be careful here. This team doesn't tighten up because DePaul is getting confidence. Broke the pressure. Alley-oop.
A little bit off.
Thought he was throwing that to Wilt Chamberlain.
Here's Booth, who has the hot hand. Hamby comes back outside, and Green resets it.
Joey's saying, let's get a good shot here. We can tighten that noose on him. Create a heat rash. Big turnover.
Batted away. Oh, got away with a little bit of a walk. Ellison.
Oh, unbelievable. He's going to put it up with his right hand, change in the air, put it up with his left. Little baby hook. All the tools.
17 for Purvis. He is 7 for 12 from the field.
Big thing here is this 1-and-1 this early in the game. Here's that last move on Purvis about 10 seconds ago. Watch him go up in the air. He's going to shoot with his right, and he puts it into his left hand. And
gorgeous move by Purvis Ellison. Foul called on Sullivan. And Green to the line. He's 2 for 2 from the line. So gets the second. 7 points for Green. Not shooting well, but he's done a nice job handling the ball. Here's Stephen Howard back for DePaul, replacing James Hamby. Hamby's played well, leads with 7.
That's an all-time record. Outstanding. Best move that Joey has made today is this constant substitution, keeping his players fresh along with the Louisville players being fresh automatically.
And that Louisville lead is down to 4 with 8:10 remaining in the game. Smith with lots of time. And that's a three-pointer.
And lots of confidence.
3-point ball for Bradford Smith.
8 points for LaBradford Smith. 7-point Louisville lead. Green backing into traffic. Grundy recaptures. Stolen by Sullivan, and he's fouled.
They're going to call Booth for coming under. Did not allow Sullivan room to come down.
He follows on Booth at number 30.
And that is 4 on David Booth. Timeout is taken. Louisville by 7. 7:46 remaining in the game.
Please turn the page.
Well, the three-point bomb has certainly helped DePaul here in the second half, and Joey Meyer has to be pleased to this point what has taken place.
Yeah, but Marvy can't show it. I know he's very, very pleased. They're only down by 7 points with a little bit less than 8 minutes left in the half. But they have a chance of getting this game if they can make one more run. I have picked Louisville as #1 in the country this year, but DePaul is showing some grace, and they're not in the top 30 teams this year, but they're good.
Louisville representing the 6th top 20 team that DePaul has faced this season. They lost to the previous 5 and were walloped in their last 2 outings by Seton Hall and North Carolina. North Carolina winning big in Chicago on Thursday night.
Well, Louisville's having problems with the DePaul zone. So when you attack a zone, you need patience, and they don't have all the patience in the world. Price reached in that time. I would call that a good foul.
Everett Sullivan was looking to give it up for the foul. Price picking up his second.
It's been many years, Marv, since you and I went to Hawaii and did the Christmas basketball game.
The Chaminade Classic.
Surfboard, and I put some peroxide in my hair. Looked like a Southern California guy.
In fact, it was Louisville going up against Keem Olajuwon in Houston. Chaminade usually good to pick up at least one upset the first season of that tournament.
Well, you know what happens. Sand, sun, and surf becomes a problem to any coach. Nice, excellent bounce pass by Price into the star from within 5 feet of the basket. Grundy.
18 for Grundy. 6-point Louisville lead.
And they forever 2-3 zone. Now they need patience. Look for the 3-point shot, then hit the boards with Kimbrough and Ellison.
And Booth remaining on the floor despite the 4 personal fouls.
He has a hot hand. You got to go with what you got.
Kimbrough releasing to Sullivan, and he's sandwiched. Howard and Price on the combination foul.
I'm going to say something now. We haven't noticed in this game, but you'll notice it for the next 4 years. One of the greatest leaps in college basketball will be this kid Price from DePaul. He really goes upstairs. You know, they hear that thing about a nosebleed. Well, he gets burnt on the inch and he goes so high. But we haven't caught him yet.
There is Price compared to Stanley Grundy when Grundy was a freshman, but Price can also shoot a jumper. 65-58. Louisville by 7. They've led virtually all the way. They've led by as many as 13.
Important time to score now because the clock is becoming a part of the game. And if you're see now, if Louisville scores now, DePaul's going to have to come out of their zone. If they come out of their zone and play man-to-man, all of a sudden, Kimbrough and Ellison go uptown.
It is Ellison up front, along with Payne and Kimbrough, Sullivan, and Smith at the guards, and LaBradford Smith running the team at this point.
All right, it's a 1-2-2 zone. Down 7 points. Louisville to be patient. Oh, that's a mortal sin. A mortal sin is a grievous offense. From the Blue Catechism. Wow. Yeah, from Sister Mary Applesauce. He's got him. He's got him. Ah, that's goaltending. He's got him. That's 2-1. 2-1. Call it good. Don't waste all the time. 2-1.
Little hesitation, but now the indication the basket is good. And the foul. And that is 4 on Payne.
Here comes Purvis over. Ball has reached its apex or zenith, whatever you want to call it. You can't touch a ball on its downward flight, or you can't touch a ball when it's inside the cylinder of the basket. The cylinder of the basket goes from the basket to the roof. This rule should change. We should go with the rules of international play. But don't get me into the Olympics. Don't get me annoyed.
We don't have enough time. Grundy,
you bet we don't have enough time.
Grundy again throwing a brick from the foul line, but he has 20 points off 10 for 15 shooting, and DePaul is down by only 5. Long range shot by Payne, and Grundy is on it. Here's Green, and it's an offensive foul on Terrence Green.
That was a hairline call. It could have went either way. The ref was on top. We might have an injury to L.A. to Moose. He's staying down kind of long. He has, can you pick up his 4th foul yet, Marv? Here's the play being, he has 3 fouls. It's a close call. Could have went either way.
And that's 2 on Green. Keith Williams checking back in. LeBradford Smith apparently all right. So Williams and Smith in the backcourt. We're down to 5 minutes remaining.
Didn't look on that last replay that Smith had both feet planted. Tough call with a 5-point spread and just under 5 minutes to go.
Neiman is back for DePaul. Payne on the reverse. Allison is there.
Allison, 4 years a star. Never says a word. Just gets the job done.
19 for Purvis Ellison. Neiman having trouble.
Now he got away with a prayer that time. He shouldn't have picked up his dribble. Reached in that time. That's a makeup for the last call down. That's the 4th foul on Smith. Now watch this rebound and watch Allison go up. Put some English on the ball. Now watch how high over the basket he is. He's at least a foot over the basket. 2-hand dunk.
So 4 on Smith, Spencer, and Payne for DePaul. 4 apiece on Booth and Howard. Green is now 5 for 5 from the line.
And he's not that good of a foul shooter normally. Oh, they're tightening that game up out there. You know, Jeff Mullins is the coach at UNCC. There have been rumors about him going to Kentucky. He was a great pro, and he also played at Duke. But Billy Tubbs, that Oklahoma team, they come roaring down the plane at you.
Green only a 60% free throw shooter, but continues his perfection here this afternoon. 4.5 remaining, and a timeout has been taken.
Who says Chevy beats Ford? USAC tested Chevy's compact S10 with available Vortec V6 against 2 full-size Fords with standard 6 and available V8. 0 to 60, going identical trailers. Chevy S10 beat both full-size Fords. That's pickup power.
If a compact Chevy S10 with a V6 can out-accelerate a full-size Ford with a V8, imagine what it can do against Ford's little truck.
The heartbeat of America, that's today's Chevy truck.
Back at Freedom Hall in Louisville, at first they indicated the timeout, and then they waved it off, so the action resumed. Nice pass from Ellison, and Payne did the rest. 7-point Louisville lead, just under 4 minutes remaining in the game. Oh, nice, but Howard lost the grip.
Lost the handle. That should have been an automatic 2.
Williams giving it up. Here's Payne again.
2 big basket by Payne. Joey has to call a timeout. He must slow him down.
8 points for Kenny Payne. And a timeout taken, 71-62. Louisville leads by 9 with 3:37 remaining in the second half. Now we're set to take the timeout. We'll be back after these messages.
From now on, this is what dry is. Dry is a beer that starts bold from the first taste, finishes clean with no aftertaste, and refreshes vanishes completely. Dry is a beer called Michelob Dry. One taste, and you'll drink it dry.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh, yeah.
Chevy S10 Blazers, the most powerful V6 engine available in its class, and the most fun available in any class.
To the heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. That's today's Chevrolet.
To create new worlds, you need to see in new ways. Be curious. Look at the problem from another direction. Commit yourself to the long term. Keep your mind open. Look for breakthrough ideas. From aerospace to healthcare, we're creating new worlds by seeing in new ways. BASF, the spirit of innovation.
It's an all-new skating spectacular
The greatest gathering on ice.
with Brian Boitano,
Scott Hamilton.
Robin Cousins,
And dance sensations Blumberg and Siebert.
the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships.
Next Sunday, only on NBC Sports World.
This the 29th time that Louisville and DePaul have met. DePaul has won 9 of the last 11. They have a 16-12 edge in the overall series. Even not able to hit rebound Ellison. 3:25 remaining in the game. And Louisville leads by 9 off 2 big buckets by Kenny Payne. Back-to-back they were. Ellison. Louisville 73. And DePaul 62.
I think DePaul's pressure now is just token. They're looking for the clock to enter. There's 3 seconds left. There's 11-point spread. So DePaul has to score every time down. And that has created a major problem because I look for Louisville to spread out a little bit now offensively. Nope, they're not.
And it's Payne again going glass. He has 10 points. The high man is Purvis Ellison with 21 along with 10 rebounds. Stanley Brundy leading DePaul with 20. Who's saving it, but stolen by Smith. 3-on-2. LeBradford gives it up. Again, Payne. 4 buckets the last minute and a half for Payne to help break it open. Louisville by 15. Timeout taken by Joey Meyer. A 10-0 run.
Just when you thought you knew which battery was best for your car, along comes this dynamo, the Megatron 34 from Interstate, the runaway leader in every performance test by America's leading consumer products rating service, with cranking power that ran circles around better-known brands and reserve energy that left others stranded. Megatron 34 from Interstate. A bit of a show-off, perhaps, but then it did test best. Ask for it.
When you fly in United, you're probably not aware of the 60,000 professionals working to make your trip easy, or the way our new advanced terminals speed you on your way. Just as when you use the American Express card, you're not really thinking about all the services that make frequent business flyers rated best for travel and entertainment. You don't notice these things because they're there, but you would notice them if they weren't.
Come home to all the excitement of college basketball next weekend. Saturday, a storied rivalry is renewed when the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame battle the UCLA Bruins. Then next Sunday, the Louisville Cardinals take on the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech. College basketball, it's the stuff weekends are made of on NBC.
Timeout situation. Louisville with 4 left. Joey Meyer of DePaul taking his final timeout. And turnovers have really hurt DePaul in the second half. 16 overall, 10 of the 16 in the second half. You see Georgetown crunching Miami. North Carolina State by 12 over Temple. And Missouri by 2 over Colorado in the second half. We're down to 2:10 remaining in the game. Von Foster has come back for DePaul.
Got to remember, Louisville scored the last 10 points. This is a 5-point game about 90 seconds ago.
There have been 2 major swings. The 10-point run. Foster, nice fake, but rejected. A 10-point run that was led by Kenny Payne, and then when the technical foul was called on Joey Meyer, Louisville was able to reel off 6 consecutive points, and it was a close game at the time. There were 2 free throws plus the 2 technicals, and then with possession, Louisville able to convert on a field goal.
You shouldn't be allowed to score 6 points on one time down the court, no matter what. I don't care no matter what you did.
The Hula Bowl coming up next here on NBC, featuring Rodney Peete, Troy Aikman, Lou Holtz, who brought a national championship to Notre Dame, will be coaching the East squad. Charlie Jones on hand to call it on NBC Sports World. Following college basketball. Thanks to our producer today, Ken Edmondson, our director, Dick Klein, Mr. Stats, Elliot Kalb, handling the statistics. As Tony Kimbrough goes to the line for the first time, he now has 17 points. A minute 39 remaining in the game. Now, why wouldn't DePaul, anticipating problems for this season,
especially backcourt problems,
right, go for a softer schedule? They've played so many top teams, as we've mentioned a couple of times. This is the 6th time they faced a top 20 team. You would think they would look to open up softer.
Well, I think what happens is so much money in national TV games. I think the tendency is to go for the money, and it's not nice for me to say. I can say it because I'm Catholic, but I think the tendency is more at Catholic schools to go for the money. Honey.
I think you will be receiving some letters during the course of the week. Even with a 3-point field goal, his 2nd of the game.
They got to set up some plays for Neiman to rub the defensive man off. He's too good of a shooter not to get more shots.
13-point Louisville lead. Price broke it up. Cardinals maintain possession. Monday at Virginia Tech, Louisville's first Metro Conference game at Blacksburg, Virginia. Not an easy place to play.
Tough place to play. Unless you like primitive antiques. It's nice to go there and pick up some of these butter churners and different old carpenter equipment. But it's a tough place to play.
A hand for Tony Kimbrough, departing with 17. Booth getting down.
He hit the backboard. It should be a basket.
Yes, it is. So 20 points for David Booth.
The people are booing. You're not allowed to hit the basket when hit the backboard when the ball's up there. Ellison hit the backboard. That's how come the ball didn't go in.
And Denny Crum is called for a timeout with 55 seconds left in the game.
Susan, can we...
Join Dick Enberg, the coach Al McGuire, and the rest of the NBC team for all the action. College basketball. It's the stuff weekends are made of on this NBC station.
Well, usually Denny Crum and his Louisville Cardinals are slow starters, as you can see during the course of his 18-year career. December and January have been difficult months, and it usually gets better in February. More losses in February because there are more games played, so that's a figure that does not necessarily reflect what has taken place. But Crum against DePaul will come up with only his 3rd victory with 8 losses. Louisville will make it 9 straight wins and a record of 9-2. They lead by 11 as we come up on 40 seconds remaining.
You got to remember that he's Mr. March. He's the man of the 80s. He's got 2 NCAA championships in the 80s. He also went to 2 other Final Fours in the 80s. And this club here has the potential of being in Seattle in late March.
Foster called on the foul with 35 seconds remaining. Next for DePaul, Wednesday they'll be home for Easton, Illinois. Then next Saturday home for Run and Gun, Loyola Marymount. then 4 straight on the road at Marquette, Loyola of Chicago, Bradley, and South Florida. Down to 30 seconds remaining. There's Booth. That was a 3-point attempt. Green firing. And Williams on the rebound.
He's their best ball handler. He's helped this team tremendously coming back. He was academically ineligible the first semester. Where he helped more than anything else, he relieved the pressure of playing point guard by LaBradford Smith and put him into the position that Smith's best at, which is a number 2 position.
Foul on Price, putting Williams on the line. Keith Williams, junior from Louisville. And our Chevrolet most valuable players, Stanley Brundy of DePaul and Travis Ellison of Louisville. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks for Ellison. Brundy with 20 points, and a check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to also assist those in financial need. A look-away pass recovered. Here's Neiman from 3. Down to 5 seconds. The Bradford Smith looking. No, he gave it up for 10. And that will do it, as Louisville defeats DePaul 81-67. A much closer game for most of the way than anticipated. But the final score, a 14-point margin. Louisville now 9-2. They've won 9 in a row. And DePaul drops to 8-7. Marv Albert with Al McGuire from Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. College basketball on NBC is brought to you by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet, and by BASF, the spirit of innovation. A look at the high point men of the game. For Louisville, Travis Ellison with 21, Tony Kimbrough 17, and Kenny Payne, who had some big baskets down the stretch, finished with 14. For the Blue Demons of DePaul, their high scorer Stanley Brundy had 20. David Booth also chipped in with 20 points, 10 for Terrence Green, who started at the point guard position. And Louisville, by 14 over DePaul, 81-67.